for the second map of who are now known as Navi.gg.bet up against Epsilon. So that's going to be a mouthful to say every time, but that is now their new name, so we will be going with that one. But yeah, we're in the knife round currently. It is going to be once again myself alongside Hawk to bring you the action.
Yeah, my question is, do we say Navi.gg.bet every time, or just Navi.gg.bet? Because those dots in there really make it a bit of a tongue twister.
A little bit. I don't think it's a tongue twister, it just makes it a little bit more awkward to say, perhaps. You're trying to cast a fast-paced round and you take half of the time saying their name. But yeah, it is going to be now going live into the game either way. Looks like it will be Navi on the CT side, Navi.gg.bet, apologies, on the CT side, and Epsilon over on the terrorist side. As now the countdown has begun and we will be getting into the action. I mentioned previously that I think Epsilon should be able to take, or if they had a chance of taking a map, it would be Cobblestone, and after that performance on Overpass right now, Epsilon looking really solid, and I'm looking forward to seeing what way this map is going to go.
Yeah, I think prior to this series starting, I would have said that this is a map where Na'Vi are maybe sort of 60/40 favorites, maybe 55/45, but it would have been a close map. However, looking at how Overpass went, yeah, Epsilon could certainly steal this one away. And we'll get to see if they can do just that as we head into the pistol. As always for Epsilon, the P250 is dropped for Smooya. That certainly has a fairly big upside. You kind of saw in the previous map, that P250 can get one-shot headshots at very long range against players without the helmets. And I think that's exactly what Smooya will be looking for. He'll be willing to take the long-range fights. And that's something that Na'Vi might not expect as we see the push come out quickly towards A.
Yeah, Zeus was able to get that info early on and fall back towards the bomb site where he is going to be trying to just take himself that fight. Smooya able to get one, as is Robin with the Glock, and electronic Qual now gives a good opportunity for Epsilon to take over this bomb site, but Edward pushes forward, gets himself the kill onto Robin. And now Chak is going to be the last man left to try and clutch this one out in a 1-on-2. It's going to be difficult. He is on the bomb site, and he has been spotted. Simple with a nice shot there. Clears that angle perfectly, flicks up and takes the headshot. And it will be Navi.gg.bet to take themselves the pistol round.
There we go. They managed to get the job done. Simple got a rapid-fire headshot there for the final frag. And if he can have a little bit of a better performance, that will certainly be, I think, quite important for Navi.gg.bet. I think it's also worth pointing out, I'm calling out Simple there. It's not like he had a bad game in the first map. He certainly did all right. I think he ended with about the same kills and deaths. It's just by Simple standards. He's one of the best players in the world. You obviously expect him to show up massively. So certainly don't want to call out Simple too hard. He's a very, very talented player. And yeah, if he can lead the way for the Navi.gg.bet side, that will be exactly the way for them to come back. Ooh, a little bit of love given there over towards Zeus from Flamey. Takes him down to 93 HP. Not a massive issue, though, because Epsilon have minimal investment.
Yeah, just 5 P250s into this one, so they at least have some sort of weaponry to try and get a few kills. Their goal right now is just try and get the bomb plant if possible, try and get a couple kills out of this one and drop some of the rifles, as Navi.gg.bet have actually gone for a fairly heavy rifle buy. They've gone for 3 M4s, they've gone for 2 UMPs, and not really a lot of utility, so they'll be opting on just trying to actually hit their shots into this one, and so far it's going quite well. Zeus will be able to find at least one, receives a dink, and he is smart enough to just fall back off, and because of that, Chak's trying to chase down the kill, will walk immediately rather into the crosshair of Edward, and now it's all onto Smooya. He was trying to lurk in towards Connector, but his teammates had no success. He gets himself 1 kill at least, will be able to take down Electronic and retrieve a UMP, but with 4 more to find, it's not really looking very likely. There is one player on low HP. He gets the spray down onto Edward also, and with the P250 out now, more damage being connected onto the Flamey. You're doing a good job right now. Unlikely still that you can win the round, but if you can get 1 or 2 more kills out of this, that would be a lot of damage connected. But it won't really work out. Flamey closes that one down, and it is going to be the first 2 rounds going in favor of the Ukrainian side.
And there we go. As you would expect, they clean up the round quite easily. A 2-0 lead early on, but here comes the buy from Epsilon. I think it is also worth pointing out, you saw there in the towards the end of Overpass, the Ukrainian team certainly had a much better performance on their CT side. And I think their CT side in general should be pretty set with how many skill players they have. You would expect them to be able to hold their spots quite easily. But we'll have to see if heading into the T side of Cobblestone, a little bit more of a T-sided map, a bit more of an open map, we'll get to see if maybe they can have a little bit of a better showing, because their T-side back on Overpass was a big issue. Either way, it's just going to be 5 rifles for both teams. A classic M4 versus AK buy. None of those fancy AWPs here to play with into this round 3. And Simple going to get aggressive, but he gets tagged early on. In the meantime, Epsilon have 3 players out towards A long, and Zeus could be in trouble. That incendiary, though, slows things down. That's actually a perfectly timed incendiary. It cuts off the Epsilon side and allows him to isolate that 1v1 fight for the man advantage.
Yeah, great work by the CT side to find that opening kill. Robin was just completely cut off, had no chance to get the trade, and now Epsilon trying to at least get this kill back in their favor. Nice usage of utility, but they won't be able to find it. Oh yeah, there we go. He's able to get that forced onto Electronic as they come up the ramp. It's costly in terms of the HP. There will still be 2 players waiting on the bomb site, and he's actually back towards the corner. Zeus on low HP. Flamey going to be able to find one, but it is going to be traded back in favor of Epsilon. Take themselves the 1-man advantage, and that leaves it all onto Edward and Simple, but Edward, he gets eliminated off the server, deleted as the headshot comes in by Cosmian, and now Simple's left to try and clutch this one out. If you could choose any player to be left in this clutch situation, you would have chose Simple, but you wouldn't have really got your money out of that one, as he does end up falling, and Epsilon claim themselves the first gun round.
Yeah, look at what that means for the CT economy. They are down in the dumps. And considering they only have the 1-round loss bonus built up, they have to go for the force buy. 1 eco would not be enough. So this is a full-on investment from Na'Vi GG Bet, and yet they don't really have a whole lot to show for it. Having said that, Smoke's going to come out towards B plat, and Simple trying to get aggressive, but he's just going to get spammed through that smoke. I believe Epsilon should have also heard him taking a little bit of damage from that Molotov there, so that's why they just decided to go for the spam, and that made it a very easy opening kill.
Yeah, a very, very nice find there by Cosmian to start that one off. Smoothie though, walking out, actually does end up getting taken down. The Molotov not really going to be covering him, of course wasn't a wall. We saw that kill then going in favor of Flamey as we're brought back into a 4-on-4, but Epsilon of course still have the much stronger buy into this round. They will be happy enough with still having the 4-on-4. They can just try and group up later into the round and try and go towards one of the bomb sites and overwhelm the opponents. But Surreal finds at least one. Will be traded up by Edward, luckily enough. It could have got dangerous as Electronic had his back exposed to that position. But the trade will be found and now a rifle will be picked up as over towards A right now, Epsilon. They look to try and commit towards this bomb site, and it is going to be Electronic in position. He's going to be holding down, waiting to see what he can get done. That's the CZ. Molotov on the bomb site though is going to force him above, where he is going to be able to take down at least 1 player. Traded out once again by Robin though means the 2-on-2 now will be ensuing, as it's going to be a difficult retake once this bomb goes down, since there is no defuse kit. And Edward, he looks to try and push forward. It's not going to work out, and Cosmian once again steps it up with a massive double headshot and closes that one out as Epsilon equalise the scoreline. And Na'Vi GG.bet now, their economy isn't going to be enough for them to get a buy. They're averaging about 2,000, so likely just going to be a full eco coming into this one.
Yeah, Cosmian, I think, has really been the missing link for Epsilon. I always said that I feel like he can be that second star player, and he's starting to really prove it here. Really starting to hit his form in these recent matches, and that's great to see for Epsilon. They get it back to a 2-2 scoreline, and with the CT side only having 1 CZ for this round, shouldn't really be getting too much done. There goes Cosmian again, looking confident, although he doesn't quite get the kill on towards Flamey, who survives on 10 points of health. In the meantime, though, Epsilon currently have the bomb positioned over towards A, and just Cosmian peeking out towards plat has caused a full-on B stack. So that might work out for Epsilon if they do pull the trigger on the A site push. And in goes Surreal, getting the first kill. Against the pistols, they do make it look easy.
Yeah, as it should be. There's not really much to actually try and shut them down other than the CC in the hands of Edward, which has already been taken off the server. Cosmian once again going to be able to close it out with a double kill as Epsilon claim themselves the lead. And now Na'Vi getting back, Na'Vi GG.bet getting back onto the buy now. They will have the rifles, they will have a decent amount of utility to work with, but they don't have an AWP. As Smoothie does, and Surreal even keeping that Mach 10 into this round is going to be quite dangerous, because we see 4 players without a helmet for the Na'Vi side.
Yeah, also no defuse kit for the CTs to play with. And that means that if Epsilon can crack a bomb site, that makes things a little awkward for the mostly Ukrainian team. Either way, we are going to see in the start of the round both teams sitting back fairly passively. Smiga just seeing if he can maybe get an opening in towards mid, but it doesn't seem likely. The only player really pushed up is Zeus out towards A long, but Smuya would have to commit to a peek, and without any support, that's unlikely. So I don't expect Smuya to be getting an entry early on. Even though he's going aggressive now, you can see the CTs playing back from the site, and here comes a push down drop. The Mach 10 tries to get up close and does do a bit of damage, but still no kills early on.
Yeah, but look at this, Cosmian. Look how aggressive he's getting. He tries to push out to find that kill onto Simple. He had just enough bullets left to actually be able to take that one down and survive on 5 points of HP. So it will be the advantage going in favor of the CT side. The Ukrainians are able to get themselves a one-man advantage slightly, and because of that Epsilon, it looks like they do just want to try and make their way back over towards A. They actually leave one player towards B. I believe that is Surreal with the Mach 10 to try and cut off the rotates. But the rest of the players with the rifles and the AWP will group up and try and find something towards the A bomb site. As Smooya with the op, he will be looking to try and find the opening spot. So Zeus, and actually Zeus continuing the face will end up getting taken down. Not really ideal right now as Epsilon making their way onto the bomb site. We're currently only one player awaits, and that's going to be Flame. He gets at least one, but in a position where the trade is quite possible and not really too difficult. Smooya will find it. He will now be kind of forced to slow it down because we see the players from the balcony just been able to stop the cross. And right now Epsilon running extremely low on time. This is getting difficult. All onto Smooya in a 1-on-3. He's only able to find one more before he ends up being taken down. Low HP on the two remaining players for Navi GG Bet, but still in the end it is going to be going in their favour.
Yeah, Smooya was the man to get the 3k for Epsilon there, but no one else able to chime in with a kill, even though they came close. So heading into round 7, we get to see a buy for both sides, but it's actually the CTs that have the slightly worse buy, with Edward stuck down to a CZ. Having said that, they've still got the nade, so certainly not a massive issue. There are a couple of positions you can choose to play with that CZ. If you just kind of play close around the corner, there's not too much the Ts can do about it. Nonetheless, even scoreline and a very important gun round. If you take a quick look at the money, neither side really has any cash built up. So the loser will almost certainly be forced down to just pistols. And we'll get to see who can win this all-important gun round. As Smooya with the AWP looks to try and get a pick. The timing is so good, and Smooya will give his team the man advantage.
Yeah, nice find by Smooya there to get that one. Epsilon, after getting that, it looks like they will maybe just try and get some control instead over towards B. They also have full control of A long right now, so Navi, with both the man disadvantage and not really having any map control to work with, it's not looking too great. We see an aggressive push at least coming in from Zeus, but he will be taken down by Robin now, allowing for this A bomb site to be at least pushed a little bit more forward by the terrorist side, as we actually see a good position for the player down on ramp. I believe that's Electronic. He could maybe cut some of these players off, and he may even hear the footsteps going back towards B, but Surreal trying to find onto Simple, and then the B bomb site is going to be up for the taking, and the bomb plant should be coming in.
There we go, Epsilon open up the B site. And there we go, Cosmin also gets another frag to make it even easier. Surreal getting the final kill. Even though the team flash came through, Surreal already had the frag before that came relevant. And now you can see, again, Navi GG Bet gonna have almost no money for this round, as we were pointing out. And I've just realized, Dean, if we want to, you know, I see chat a little bit annoyed with how we're saying Navi GG Bet. If chat really wants to, I could say natusvincere.gg.bet every time. Do you think, do you think they like that more?
Spell out the DOT.
Oh, that's a bit too much. Oh, Simple. Let's get that first kill with the D. I was gonna say, I was having a little bit of fun there because I thought this round wouldn't really show anything for Navi, but Simple gets the second headshot. And wow, I guess I've been proven wrong. Simple certainly doing the damage. Oh my goodness, 3 kills for Simple. He's now down to 1 HP. I wouldn't expect him to get any more, but Smooya gets a team kill. Oh boy, this has gone awfully wrong for Epsilon. And unless Smooya clutches this 1v4, it's just awful, isn't it? That's
yeah, that's definitely going to be on Reddit. Definitely. Yeah, just Epsilon around that we probably should have seen them taken 9 out of 10 times. They end up losing it thanks to Simple stepping it up massively, and then Surreal kind of just running in the way of Smooya as he tried to get the trade. So Epsilon, luckily enough, they will actually still be able to buy into this one. They do still have a decent amount of economy, which allows for the 4 rifles and a CZ to come out, but it's not as good as the buy now for Navi. Or rather, Navi GG Bet, as it is going to be Epsilon just looking to try and favour over towards this A bomb site, but a similar setup for the Ukrainian side. You have 3 players in position to try and hold this one down, and Edward now in a good spot to try and shut down Smooya in towards middle. They don't get the kill quite yet, a small bit of damage is being connected, and Epsilon, they just stick together to ensure that they will find this, and it will be Smooya to open it up now as Edward falls, and Epsilon claim themselves a man advantage, and Surreal may be able to increase that even further, but they likely won't expect another player in this position. Zeus, such a good spot, as he gets the double spray down. Well, Robin and Surreal drop, and now the situation's been equalised in terms of the manpower.
There we go, Zeus making the play. Almost reminiscent of that C's clip where he was boosted up in a somewhat similar position, but this time Zeus manages to get both of the kills. into a 3 versus 3, and Smooya, I thought was going to go up to tree. Now he decides to do so. Oh, he gets the 1 kill, but the trade was very, very quick. So it's back to a 2v2. However, that distraction allows the bomb to go down on the site. Makes the retake a little bit more difficult for the CTs.
Certainly. They do have a defuse kit at least onto Electronic, but as Cosmin finds himself that kill, that means it's all going to be onto Zeus to try and clutch this one out. Already has 2 kills. Needs to try and double it, and it's not going to be easy at all. Has the Molotov, though, to try and force the player off the bomb site, but Cosmin, he just pushes back further instead. Make sure that he won't be getting taken down instantly, but Zeus eventually finds that one. And now it's Chak all alone, trying to ensure that Epsilon will be able to take this round. No defuse kit currently picked up by Zeus. And I believe the closest one is actually all the way over towards the door, and because of that, he will just begin to back off. And in the process, he will actually get taken down. So Epsilon, instantly returning it. They're getting themselves up to 5 and reclaiming the lead. As now, it looks like the buy will once again at least come in for the CT side. And Epsilon themselves don't have a great one coming into this. We can see their money is not really going to allow for all the rifles. Then we'll see a Mac-10 once again coming out for Surreal.
Yeah, and Sak finally gets his first kill here on Cobblestone, but it was a very important one at that to close out that clutch. And now, as you were saying, not the best of buys for the CT side. Having said that, the shotgun is going to be boosted up towards drop. Electronic could take damage from this nade, down to 67 HP early on. However, I'm not sure if he will be able to get too much done. There goes Smooya. Very quick reactions on the fading smoke, and Flamey out in the open will go down first. That's one of the rifles already lost, and now Zeus has to try and hold on to A. He's only good for the 1 frag, and Smooya finds another trade. Very, very nicely done from Epsilon to get those trades so quickly and overwhelm the A site.
Yeah, and once again, it's just going to come down to the retake most likely. We see that there is actually one player up towards the balcony. That's Simple with the Desert Eagle. And we know what damage he can get done with this weapon. We've already seen it in this half, and Epsilon is being cautious now. Will be able to make their way onto the bomb site. And with the bomb plant coming down and no defuse kit for the CT side, unless Electronic can get a lot done from mid and do so quite fast, and likely Epsilon are going to be able to take this one for themselves. So let's see what happens now. Simple, hoping that some mistakes will be made, hoping he can try and find something to open this one up, and he actually is able to. He takes down Smooya towards middle. Was expecting that kill to go in favor of Electronic, but now Chak up close, in a way, will eventually get him get that one for himself, as Electronic, realizing that this round is all but done, will just try and now actually save this AK into the following.
And there we go, Epsilon going to be able to keep on winning the gun rounds. And remember, Na'Vi GG Bet managed to win the pistol, and they've only won 2 gun rounds since, so Epsilon looking in quite good shape. And I was also saying previously, I feel like the CTs here probably need to get most of their work done on this side, because their T-side back on Overpass was quite poor. They either need to improve that or have a good CT showing. And, well, right now the CT performance isn't looking up to snuff. They're down 6-4, and they're also down in terms of the economy, but they have gone for the force buy. 1 AK for Electronic, the rest of the players on slightly lackluster weapons. However, as we saw previously, Simple can certainly make the difference with any weapon, so we'll get to see if there's still a chance for them in this round.
Yeah, they don't really have too much weaponry to actually try and work with. So let's see what they're going to be able to find. As right now, Epsilon looks like they are going to be going for a fairly passive default. The boost coming in by Smooya may be able to find some aggressive pushes, as you see, I believe that is over towards the platform. Just Simple being a little bit of a daredevil, jumping back and forth. We'll just back off now and play a bit more passive, but he's looking to try and jump up with a UMP. Perhaps not the best weapon to try and face this with. The flash goes down though to allow for him to at least take that peek, and luckily enough, Smooya does not connect it. So Simple getting himself a bit of info, realizing that the op is in this position, but Smooya ends up eventually finding himself that kill. Electronic looking to try and now get the work done from the bomb site, as he's only able to find a single. Now it is going to be Epsilon just making their way into that B bomb site for free. We see over towards Connector, Flamey and Zeus, they're cut off from the bomb site. And also we see Edward looking to try and go for an extremely long flank around through the B halls, as right now Zeus spots out Chak in towards drop room. If he finds this, perhaps there would be a chance. If he finds this one and gets himself a rifle even, it could be looking a little bit awkward for Epsilon. And there we go, Zeus eventually gets that kill, but over in the B halls now, some kills looking to be going back in favour of Epsilon, as Surreal spamming through the door even manages to take down Flamey. So they should now be Epsilon getting themselves a 7th round, as Zeus just looking to try and maybe save this AK.
Yeah, I'm not sure he'll be able to do so, though, because Surreal is coming, and the 1 shot is all he needs. Epsilon keep their round wins going. 7-4, with the CTs, again, not really having the money. And while we have a weak buy for the CT side, shouldn't be too much going on in this round. I want to quickly shout out the giveaway we currently have running here on eFrag. The giveaway is for a Flip Knife Blue Steel Field Tested, and to enter you just have to subscribe on Twitch. It also helps us out, and you can see we're trying to make good things happen. We've got the HUD going, we've got the desk, so if you appreciate us, make sure to sub, you can help us out and have the chance of winning that knife, which will be drawn on Sunday. Either way, back into the action where Smooya's got the first kill.
Yeah, Flamey, he was playing up close, didn't really work out. He did get the dink actually onto Smooya, but it wasn't enough to get the kill, and either way, even if he got that one, likely the trade would have come in. So right now, Epsilon just looking to try and commit to the A-bomb site, it seems, but with only 3 players, if they're to lose out some of these aim duels, it could get a little bit dangerous. Luckily enough, Robin, he is going to be able to drop Zeus. Electronic over in the balcony position is going to take a lot of damage from that grenade. Now Epsilon with full control of the A-bomb site and the bomb getting planted. This is likely really going to be a for Navi, and there we go, another nade goes in. Electronic has no chance at all to survive there. We see even the spam, so if he managed to escape the radius of the nade, likely the rifle would have taken him down. And now it's only Edward that remains. He is going to be pushing out through mid, maybe able to perhaps get the flank and take a couple of kills out of this one and try and at least cause some damage to the economy of Epsilon. But likely now Epsilon will be taking that A4 lead.
Yeah, no time for any sort of defuse to happen. Epsilon will get themselves up to that 4-round lead. They've got double the rounds of Navi right now. And here comes the buy. You can see M4s on the side, except for Flamey, who goes for the AWP. That's somewhat surprising. Going for it without the Kevlar. I guess it's not a bad idea to take that risk. Flamey is certainly okay with the AWP. However, we'll have to see what he can get done in this round. Epsilon have been taking most of these rounds slowly so far. However, this time they do have 4 players grouped out towards B plat, so we might see some early aggression. Having said that, a couple of smokes have already gone up, so I don't think Epsilon will want to go through the smoke unless they have the flashes lined up. And it looks like everyone is here, so Epsilon might just go for this quick B play. Indeed, the push coming out. Simple going to get the first kill, repositions for the second. It's 3 for Simple, and that is pretty much the round 1. Robin is eventually going to get 1 kill back, but it's just not enough for Epsilon.
Yeah, I like the idea of the change in pace by Epsilon. They tried to swap it up. We've seen a pretty slow style so far that has really just focused on taking the map control. They attempted to maybe try and catch Navi off guard into that gun round, but it just didn't really work out. We saw, I believe, both Simple and Edward were able to step it up for a double kill, and Electronic was the one to close it out. So they won't take that one, but they will, of course, still have the money to buy. They will be able to get the op out for Smooya, and they even have the 4 rifles for the others with all the utility that they could ever require. As right now, looks like they will just go back to that default. The fast round didn't work, and why fix it if it ain't broken?
Exactly. Into round 14, Epsilon going to have Smooya with that. Oh, he's not been able to get too many openings on this T side. He hasn't really been as aggressive, I don't think. It seems like a lot of Smooya's aggression comes on the CT side with that AWP. Nonetheless, the smokers come in towards drop, so that will work quite well for Epsilon. However, Smooya took a nade down to half HP. Could be a bit of an issue for him early on. Zeus is playing this angle. You don't see players play his position often because it can quite easily be spammed through the door. Having said that, he is now going to fall back, but in the meantime, Flamey is down to 20 HP, so both AWPers take some damage early on.
Yeah, interesting that Flamey's the one on the AWP. Bit of a strange pickup, not normally what you'd see. Usually it would be Simple. Flamey, I believe, has become the secondary upper for the Navi GG bet lineup, but still, you wouldn't usually expect him to take that over Simple. I guess being low HP, that is the idea behind it. Want to go with the Bogdan Law. But yeah, right now, Epsilon, only 30 seconds remaining, and they have to make a decision about where they want to bring this one. And it looks like the choice is going to be to just go back towards the B bomb site. Right now, though, Simple, he's going to be ready to try and hold this one down once again. And he does have support. He also has the ability to use. Molotov goes down with the perfect timing to cut Robin off from his teammates. And that allows for Simple to just shut this one down with ease. Almost gets the hat-trick, but it'll be Edward instead. Take himself a double also, as Smooya will be the last man standing. And he's going to be taken down by Edward, who ends that with 3 kills.
Yeah, Navi GG bet finally starting to find some form towards the end of the half. And overall, they've already got 6 rounds on the board, and it will likely be 7, considering they're only up against pistols. So, all things considered, if they get 7 rounds, I think they'll be fairly happy with that. But again, I do want to see them have a slightly better T side. I think the main thing is that back on Overpass, so many of the rounds were played very, very slowly. It maybe became a little bit predictable. So I don't know if that's Zeus making the calls, but I would like to see a couple of faster rounds thrown into the mix heading into Navi GG Bet's T side. Having said that, They still need to close out this last round of their CT side up against the Pistols. And we are going to see Epsilon all grouped up around A, lining up this push.
Yeah, the rifles at the longer range should have advantages, but as I said, Surreal is going to be the one to open it up. He loses a lot of HP in the process, but down to 19 now, the AK perhaps won't be as useful as he would hope. And look at this by Electronic, which is immediately out through the door. Not going to be allowing for Epsilon to try and get onto the bomb site. He's instead going to push forward, and he takes 2 kills and a lot of damage in the process. As now Navi GG Bet rather left in a 2-on-3. HP slightly in favour of Epsilon overall, as Flamey also down to 24, but Robin and Surreal aren't really looking so healthy. Shaq gets the bomb down at least, as now it will finally be Navi looking to have to go for this retake. No option of a save, of course. It is the final round of the first half, and there we go, more damage being done. Flamey with the up, able to tag Chak down through the wall, and Robin up close will finally get himself that headshot. And now it's going to be all onto Simple. If I was to choose any man on this Navi lineup to try and actually clutch this one out, it would indeed be Simple. And let's see what he's going to be able to find. But walking immediately into a crossfire, Chak should have had that trade, but played it a little bit too safe. Didn't find the kill instantly. Luckily enough, he will be able to find a headshot towards the end, as it is going to be Epsilon to actually manage to pull off the upset in that round with the Pistols and take themselves the 9-6 half.
Yeah, Epsilon, I think, will be the happier of the two teams. Something I quickly want to point out while we have a little bit of a break in the halftime, though, is that Epsilon on their CT side pistol, I think almost every time I've seen them play that setup in towards connector, where they have that boost going on towards the sort of back of connector, and they wait to see if any quick push comes in towards con, down drop to try and split on towards that A site. So if Na'Vi have done their homework, they might just want to go quickly on towards B, where sometimes Epsilon only have sort of 1 or 2 defenders early into the round. Either way, we'll wait and see if Epsilon do go for that stack I was talking about, but it seems like Epsilon quite often do like to play sort of 3 players in connector with a boost at the start of the round.
Yeah, I believe they actually done it against Navi when they played on this map, I think it was just about a week ago, so they should definitely be aware of it if Epsilon do go for that once again. I'd presume that they may try and change it up a small amount, but I guess we'll find out. But while we have a moment, I am just going to go ahead and remind everyone that this tournament is, of course, brought to you by Farmskins, so if you want to go ahead and try and get yourself some nice drops, head on over to farmskins.com. But we should be getting back into the action now any moment. For some reason, Smoothie is having some technical issues. Apparently, he's capped at 100 FPS, and he is just trying to fix that one. So hopefully he won't be too long. Perhaps an Xbox DVR issue. I'm not quite sure.
Ooh. Is that Eck-assistant Dean there? Trying to help Smoothie out?
Maybe. I'd presume it's an Xbox DVR issue, but I'd also presume someone who plays this level of CS should already have that turned off.
Exactly. You would think so. You never know. We'll hopefully we'll get that all sorted out shortly. However, yeah, as we were saying, I'm interested to see what we see from the Na'Vi GG Bet side on their T side here. As I've kind of been pointing out, it was quite lackluster on Overpass. I'm not sure exactly why, though. Like, it kind of felt like in a couple of the early rounds, they were trying to make individual plays and just nothing came off for them. And then it almost seemed like they lost their confidence, which I really wouldn't expect when they're playing against Epsilon. They should be feeling quite confident that they can win a fair few aim fights. But it almost seemed like they started really slowing things down. No one seemed to be trying to get those aggressive peaks to go their way. So hopefully, now that their mindset is a little bit sort of reset, they will be good to make those aggressive plays again, as we will finally be heading underway into the second half.
Yeah, and it's going to be a pretty important pistol round, especially for Navi to pick up. We've seen so far Epsilon, when they're able to get that momentum in their favour, they can be quite difficult to stop. I don't know whether that's completely up to Epsilon just being a good team once they get the momentum rolling, or if it's that kind of thing that's been noticed for Navi. If they don't get a good start, their stars, they kind of struggle to get themselves back into the game.
Oh. Intruder alert. Coach, join the server. We're fine, though. He's not dropped anything. We're all good.
It's a nice view,
Should be good to go. Oh, yeah. He's just bent over, ready to pick something up off the floor. Pick up the soap.
Maybe.
There's not even a shower around.
There's a gun beside him. Perhaps it was a... Maybe this is the board game where you have to find out who committed the murder.
Cluedo?
Yeah, Cluedo. That's what it's called.
Pretty good game.
Maybe that's what the
Molly,
pause is on they're discussing. Has he? Okay. Wonder what that'll be used towards. They don't have a smoke though, so a Molotov. Where would this be gone towards?
Yeah, exactly. I understand on like Mirage, if you're going out towards mid, you kind of want to get the molly in towards window. You see that sometimes, but I don't know exactly where that would go on Cobblestone, unless maybe you wanted it for the post plants. But you can see Zach has a smoke on the CT side. So here we go. Na'Vi going to lean towards A at the start, and Smooya is spotted out, and he could be in trouble now. But it looks like he might just be able to fall back. Indeed, he gets back to safety, but he's still alone on A.
Nice find there by Simple, though. Gonna be able to drop Cosme as he looks to try and get aggressive over on B. Surreal, well, luckily enough, be able to return that one as now it goes back into a 4-on-4, and looks like Navi will actually try and make their way back over towards the B bomb site instead. They are just going to group up. They've made some steps making their way through the halls, and with a player in connector, they may have been heard, but currently they are just going to go ahead on the CT side and send another player over towards A. Just leave 2 to try and hold down B, which may be difficult up against these Glocks once they're able to get close, once they split down the drop room, are able to go out long together, and it can be really easy to get overwhelmed on this B bomb site. But finally, Epsilon will begin to rotate some more players in, and actually it looks like maybe once again the bomb making its way back over towards A. So it seems like Navi GG Bet rather, just working together to try and get that control towards drop room, and they will look to try and maybe split towards this A bomb site. Maybe this was the counter for that boost that you see coming in early on into this round by Epsilon in the previous times that they did actually play this map. So I believe that may be it. But right now, it is going to be finally Navi having to get a move on. They are going to have to finally begin moving towards the bomb site with only 30 or so seconds remaining on the clock. And it's going to be a difficult one. Smooya, he's on the bomb site, has the support also from Robin. Now the Glocks need to try and find these openings, and with Electronic being able to get that first one onto Smooya, it's looking quite good. Robin on the bomb site, not going to be able to find anything at all, and now the bomb will be getting planted, and it's going to be left all to Surreal. He has 1 kill already, needs to get the ace clutch. He gets himself a second, and actually taps the head off of Flamey, as it's looking pretty decent now, but still Electronic and Edward to try and find. As Surreal picks himself up a smoke and the defuse kit, and we see Navi play that quite well. Navi GG Bet ready to play that quite well. They just stick together, ensure that they will be able to at least find the trade, and Electronic gets himself another headshot, as it will be the pistol round gun in favour of the Ukrainian side.
Yeah, there we go, and they go for 4 AKs here on the Ukrainian/Russian team. That means they do have not that much in terms of nades. And at least in my opinion, I think those Molotovs are really quite important when you're up against these sort of buys, just to try and clear out some of those close corners. So that could be a slight issue for the T side, but we'll get to see if that does come back to cost them, because for the time being, they are just going to hold back. Instead, that Surreal will go for the peak, and there are plenty of players waiting for him. There's actually the boost coming up there, so only the one player properly holding the angle, but Simple finds it fairly easily with the AK.
Yeah, and you see because of that now, Epsilon, they're going to continue looking to try and find some aggressive peaks on the other side of the map. Smooya, he was hoping maybe that someone peek aggressively to give a chance for him to find something, but it is just going to be more kills coming in favour of Simple, but that's before Robin steps it up. He's able to find a quick double kill, even drops the bomb out into the open, and now back into a 3-on-3. Happy GG Bet, they need to try and bring this one back, and Zeus walking out of the drop room is going to get taken down. Does luckily enough find at least 1 kill before falling, but there is a decent chance now for Epsilon. We've seen them on the previous map managing to pull off the upset with the pistols after losing the pistol round itself, as now it is going to be Edward trying to find that kill out of long. Won't be able to find it though, as Jack plays distraction and even gets himself the kill in the end, as now it's going to be all onto Flamey to try and clutch this one out. He's going to be in a 1-on-2, his position is known. He has 30 seconds left now to try and get this one done, to get the bomb, or to get both kills, and somehow try and clutch this one out, which isn't going to be easy. We see Epsilon playing this safe, Jack getting a lot of damage, spamming in through the wood. Keeper, as he gets the damage originally, and Robin will be allowed to close that one out, as Epsilon once again pull off the upset with the force buy.
And I'm fairly certain this is exactly what happened back on Overpass, where Navi GG Bet managed to win the first pistol and then lost to a force. So Epsilon now back in control. They are up against the pistols, and again, as we have seen in 1 or 2 rounds, Simple can be very deadly with the Deeg. However, he's been a little bit inconsistent. He hasn't really been able to get too much done with the Desert Eagles so far. Smoke going to go out towards B plat. With a fair few Deegs in the mix, they don't have to take anything too quickly. Having said that, Flamey down to 60 HP early on. Simple looks to be lining up this wallbang. Oh, it does do the damage. Smooya down to half HP. Not a bad way to start the round there for Simple, and quite cool to see he has the lineup for that.
Yeah, both of the players looking to try and just try and maybe spam the other player down and take a bit of damage. It was traded out as Smooya down to 54, Flamey down to 61. And right now it is just going to be the CTs just sitting back playing this really passively. They know they're up against the force buy. They know they have the advantage with these rifles, and because of that they're not really going to be getting too aggressive. They don't allow for any close range challenges to be taken by the Navi side, as right now it is going to be 3 Deagles, 2 CZs for them to work with, and they still also have a bit of utility in the form of 2 smokes and also 2 flashes, and it looks like they will make their way back over towards B, so an execute looking quite likely, but they need to get a move on quite soon. Time beginning to get low, only 40 seconds remaining. as it looks like they will even try and split in towards it. A couple players making their way through down through the drop room rather. Flamey, he will be leading the way out platform as he does get spotted out. Cosmin going to be able to get that kill quite yet, and now it could get a little bit scary as Cosmin eventually takes down Zeus, and Surreal needs to try and get a couple out of this one. If he gets overwhelmed, it's going to get dangerous as it is going to be gone in favor of Navi. As Edward gets himself one more. Jack try and finish off this player, but the flank from Electronic gets some damage done, but it won't be enough as Smooya on 13 points of HP will be able to clutch that one out.
Just about closing the round out there. Smooya surviving on a slither of health. However, that's all they need to keep their enemy's economy weak. Having said that, I am not a fan of this force buy from Navi GG Bet. You can see they're only really getting pistols. One eco would have been enough for the full buy. And as I was kind of saying previously, I think they should just be playing to get as many full buys as possible. They should be confident when Simple has the AWP, when they have the AKs, that they can out-aim the opponents. It's not going to happen. They're going to go for the force buy. They're taking the gamble. Let's see if it pays off. The push coming in early. Down to a 3v3. Cosmin gets a double, looking for a third. And indeed, he will find it. Locking down the site. Electronic only good for the single frag. And I guess the potential upside is if you win the force, you would break Epsilon's economy. But now they're just in a similar position where they can't afford the buy. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. They are still going to buy. Okay then.
Did they fully buy? That's the question. This is a bit of a CIS buy. You drop over the AK. Zeus, he's not really bothered with sacrificing that. He's not going to be the heavy fragger anyway, so given that the Simple gives them some form of chance in this round now to try and get something done, but once again, Epsilon are able to open it up strong. Falls to Smooya. And now a 5-on-4 in favour of the European mix side, as it is still going to be at least the AK up for Simple to work with. Looking to try and find something, and Surreal may not actually expect this as he does go for the peak. Receives himself a dink through the corner of the wall, and I think because of that now he won't really be looking to continue facing this position. Wants to make sure now that he can just stay alive, and Epsilon even aware now that there is at least one rifle in play.
Smooya was holding that angle towards mid, however now he decides to fall back after already finding the opening. Simple in the meantime is going to get aggressive. The AK does find the first headshot. There's a player up close and Simple gets a second spray down. This now starts to look dangerous because these rifles can be recovered. It's a 4v3 and it looks as though the T's are going to make their way towards the site. The rotation is too slow and that means that Cosmin is caught in the open. Only Robin and Surreal left, and considering they both only have UMPs, I don't see them winning this retake, and they don't either. They're already saving. Yeah,
it looks like the first buy, or rather the small investment of that single AK is actually going to work out. As now Epsilon just looking to try and save, and they don't really have much money left over in the bank. Smooya, he can get the AWP rather in the following round if he wants. Jack should be able to also maybe get out a FAMAS or something along those lines, but if they do buy up to try and actually back up these weapons, they're not really going to have a great buy by any means.
And just a quick reminder for everyone, 15 out of the 16 teams at Katowice have already been confirmed. This qualifier here is the last chance for every team involved to try and play at Katowice. So Navi GG Bet need to overcome this deficit, but that round win there is certainly the way to start that. They've already brought it back to only a 4-round loss that they are behind, that they have to overcome, and Epsilon also don't have the best of buys. 4 UMPs alongside the AWP for Smooya. And considering his teammates don't have the best of weapons, I certainly wouldn't be surprised to see Smooya try to get aggressive, and indeed he will. Peeking in towards mid for that opening frag, and Smooya yet again gets the first kill.
Yeah, that's exactly what they needed. Since they have the weaker buy into this one, they wanted to try and get that advantage early on. And Smooya successfully does that, still showing that confidence that we see on an overpass, not really afraid to push forward, and see it works out in his favor as he does take down Zeus. And now it is going to be the one-man advantage for the Ukrainian side. Let's see where they decide to eventually take this one, but they do have quite a lot of time to make that decision. They have well over a minute still to work with. And right now it looks like they will be just hanging back, waiting to see what they can get done, but most of their presence is at least going to be put over towards the B side of the map. We see them grouping up now, and they may try and make their way up platform, where currently Flamey is actually very far forward, and they may not even expect Surreal to be up close in this corner, as it's going to be Cosmi and also below the broken wall. Good positions now for these CTs as it is a crossfire set up. Flamey though, he opens that one up. Will be traded up by Surreal eventually, but once again it will be returned by Electronic. Now in a 3-on-3 with the B bomb site, only having one player to try and shut this one down. It's going to be Robin. Smooya will also be able to position himself with the smoke, not going to be giving him any chances, and Flame, he's spamming through it, is going to be able to take himself a second kill, so it's all on to Chak. And he won't last much longer, as now it's only 3 rounds into difference.
Well, in the 3v3, Flamey gets a 3k very, very quickly there. That first spray through the smoke got both of those kills. That made such a massive difference. And, well, stepping up in the clutch is Flamey this time around. So, again, that just shows the depth that Na'Vi GGBet have. When their players show up, they certainly can have multiple ways of winning rounds. And that forces Epsilon back to literally 5 USPs. They're going to go for this stack in towards mid. I think this was first made popular by Virtus Pro, if I'm not mistaken, where you just have 5 players standing above each other on that slope. It's not a bad idea to try and get an opening pick. If you can just land 2 headshots, that oftentimes can be enough. However, it looks as though the terrorists won't stray towards that area of the map.
Yeah, I believe it was by VP, but they've slightly changed. I think VP used to just have 5 players on the ramp itself. They're going for a bit of a boost with Smooya on the head of one of his teammates. We see also back up on the site itself, player up on top, and it's not really going to be the correct gamble, as you can see. It is just going to be the B-bomb site completely taken over by the terrorists, and this should be around going in favor of the Ukrainian side once again, as Epsilon only 5 USPs to work with. Ideally, they just group up, try and take at least a couple of kills towards the end of this one, as they can at least maybe try and cause some damage to the economy. And right now, the op from in the hands of Simple. Spots out the first player, damages him up, and Flamey going to be able to take down Cosmine. This should be most of the kills going in favor of the Na'Vi side, at least, as I don't really think much is going to be found. Zeus with the Mach 10 trying to build up some bite, 600 per kill, of course, as it is now all onto Robin, and not a single kill comes in for Epsilon in that round.
Yeah, pretty much the round going as expected, I think it's fair to say. So that means both teams are already up to double digits. It looks as though this will be quite a tight map. Only 2 rounds between the 2 teams. It looks as though it is Zeus who has called this pause. So after winning 3 rounds in a row, they take a tactical timeout. Somewhat surprising, but considering how important this qualifier is for them, I can kind of understand if they want to just slow things down and make sure they take stock of exactly where they are at. And, I mean, considering the buy from Epsilon has a few things missing. It's missing a few nades, no AWP for Smooya, so I'm not sure he'll be as confident as getting aggressive. I certainly wouldn't expect him to peek in towards mid. So it still feels like it's a pretty decent chance here for the T's to win another round.
Yeah, certainly. It's not a great buy by any means for Epsilon. They don't have the op on the Smooya, which has really been that weapon that they've been able to get those opening picks with. And we've seen even already, Epsilon, even though they got the opening pick in the round where they were able to take down Zeus, Smooya found that. Still Na'Vi able to bring that back. So, or Na'Vi GG, apologies. But yeah, it seems like they're just showing that experience now. They're able to bring back these rounds even when they're down with that disadvantage. And Epsilon just struggling to actually get a consistent economy, to be able to constantly get out the buys they want, to be able to get all that utility, and on the CT side that can really cause you to spiral out of control.
Yeah, it certainly can be the case if they can't, especially if they just can't win, you know, consistent rounds in a row. If they just win one and lose the next, that really does put you in a rough spot. And on the T side, not only do you generally get more money for losing the rounds, but you can also get the bomb down, which gives you $800 extra between the teams. So that makes a massive difference, whereas the CTs cannot get that extra cash. Nonetheless, here we go. It is going to be round 23 coming into play, and we are just going to see both teams hold back. The smoke comes up towards drop. I think that did just about land for Epsilon. This is generally the setup that Epsilon go with, and I'm always kind of surprised to see Robin trying to hold within drop. Having said that, Smooya still gets somewhat aggressive, and, well, yet again, time after time, Smooya seems to be able to get this opening pick out towards A.
Yeah, and this time he does it with the M4 and doesn't actually take any damage in return either. So great start to this round by Epsilon. It is an important one to take. If they lost this, likely the scoreline would be getting equalized, as there would be an eco in the following from Epsilon. So they need to try and get this gun round to keep themselves in with a decent lead, as right now it looks like the terrorist side are just going to be grouping up mostly over towards B. We see actually just one player with the bomb over towards A, who begins now making his way back towards his teammates. And Chak aggressive up towards mid, may be able to even hear these footsteps, and if he wants to do so, may be able to get a fast flank in. With 40 seconds now remaining, will be indeed the commitment towards the B-bomb site. Flamey looking to try and find the opening, but we see a great setup right now from Epsilon, and it's just going to be working out perfectly. Robin and Surreal shut it down, and now Electronic as the last man standing in the drop room will only find a single kill before he falls, as it is going to be Epsilon to get themselves a 3-round lead.
Yeah, complete shutout over towards B there. And considering Epsilon had quite limited utility in that round, they actually held on to it for quite a long time, and they timed it really well. That incendiary out towards Plat slowed the T side down drastically. And then when the push eventually came in, Epsilon were made fully aware of it. You saw Robin could rotate over to assist out towards Plat, and that made things work very well for Epsilon. As you were saying, up to a 13-10 lead now. Epsilon just 3 rounds away from getting into the semi-finals. Just going to come down, drop, and Robin wins both of the fights. 2 opening kills for him. I'd have thought they would have been able to get the trade there, but Robin says no. And Na'Vi can't even push out through Plat here. They've only got 3 players left, and the smokes have slowed them down. That shot actually does land onto Cosmine. I have no clue how that managed to connect. Nonetheless, still a 2-man disadvantage, and you can see Smooya's pushed out through A.
Yeah, and this is really going to make it difficult. I'd like if Smooya doesn't go any farther forward, because he has the position now where if they do go back in this direction, he should be able to take at least 1 or 2 kills for free and give all that info to his teammates. And if they go in towards B, once they begin to commit, he can then get that flank. It's all about choosing the correct timing to actually pounce. As right now, it is just going to be Na'Vi GGBet just holding, waiting to see if any mistakes are made. They will be looking to try and find an opening towards the drop room, but they realise that there's currently no one peeking, and they may actually decide to move down through this position. Gives them the access route to either towards the bomb site of B, or else in through connector where they can try and wrap around towards the A bomb site. But good setup right now. Robin low HP, he's going to be the first point of contact, and as he falls to Electronic, gives at least a small chance now for the Ukrainian side to work with, and that's a nice Molotov actually. Jack going to be forced back, and as he pushes forward, another Molotov is placed down. Electronic, once again, leading the way, trying to desperately find these opening kills. Spots out Cosmine, gets himself the headshot, and Flamey, he's able to take down Surreal. So now the B-bomb site going to be going all in favour of the terrorist side. Simple also took down Shaq before Smooya returns 1, and he's going to be left to try and clutch this one out, but Simple with the AWP is just too fast.
Wow, there we go. Epsilon look in great shape there, but it doesn't go their way. Despite having quite a heavy B stack, Na'Vi GGBet managed to overcome that. And that was a very, very important round win, because you can see what it means for Epsilon's economy. Just a couple of pistols brought up into this round. And maybe that's the Na'Vi GGBet magic that we are looking for here. Remember, this, as I've been saying so often, this is the last spot at Katowice up for grabs. And we're only into the quarterfinals, so a long way to go for either side. It certainly would be nice to add onto their storyline if they do well at Katowice as well. If the team manages to come back from behind here, it would be a nice way to start their journey off. Nonetheless, around 25 shouldn't really see too much come into play. I wouldn't have been surprised to see Epsilon stack a site, but they are just playing their default setup. And Robin, ooh, I was going to say should go down, but he just about gets away with his life. He'll be counting his lucky stars there.
Yeah, just barely escapes, but Electronic looking to continue trying to hunt this one down. He's going to be taking that fight from drop room. Looks like once again the B-bomb site is going to be the destination for the terrorist side to go towards eventually, but Robin, he eventually wins out that fight himself there with a T250, and Cosmian doing a similar thing as he takes down Flamey, and we do see Simple desperately trying to return it. Luckily enough, will get one. Cosmian pushes forward, and the trade's coming back and forth now, leave us in a 2-on-2. Not really much firepower for Epsilon to actually work with in this situation, and Simple at long range is going to be able to take down Surreal. So no Chak left in a 1-on-2. He will be coming in on the flank. If Na'Vi aren't aware of this, it could get dangerous, but Simple spots him out, and now that should be the end of the round, as it will be Simple to win that fight and get his team a 12th round onto the board, as it's 1 in the difference now. Epsilon, they don't really have the money to buy into this one either, but it looks like they may do so. Most of the players do. They will be perhaps lacking on utility for both Chak and Cosmine, but they do get the up. They do get 3 M4s and Surreal on the MP9.
Yeah, it's a little scary for Na'Vi GGBet that Simple had to get 4 frags for them to win that round. However, the round win is all they were looking for. They get that to go their way, and now it's a buy versus buy situation. As you were saying, Surreal falls down to the MP9, but other than that, it's certainly a capable buy for Epsilon. And with Smooya playing so well over towards A, they've decided to leave him alone there to start the round. I think that's generally a pretty good call. It's unlikely that they would go for such a quick push towards A, considering they know Smooya's been AWPing. So that's, I think, a fairly safe call to try and stack B, to try and counteract any potential rush there. And now Sak will lean back over towards A to assist on this hold, and he might be required, because it looks as though the terrorists are going to make their way forwards.
Yeah, it looks like they will indeed be trying to get themselves this map control. It is a staple of the default, just trying to get the control over towards A, to give the option to either go towards A or else just force the CTs back onto the bomb site so they don't really have a lot of info to work with. But Smooya, even while blinded, gets that kill on the Zeus, also takes down Electronic, and as he spins around and eventually get taken down. Had the chance to take down Edward, but for now the bomb should be retrieved, and Simple being cautious, he seems to be aware that there's a possibility of this aggressive push down towards middle. That is going to be Chak up close, not really going to be facing though, just holding, waiting for the players on the terrace side to push out. Simple chooses the incorrect corner to try and flush him out from, as the Molotov goes down on the left side. And now with a one-man disadvantage, let's see what the Ukrainian side are going to be able to do. Simple, Edward and Flamey left to try and clutch this one out and deny Epsilon from taking themselves a 14th round, as Simple will lead the way. He even trades out from the op onto the AK-47 so he can be a bit more versatile. And now on the bomb site itself, it's actually just going to be up to, I believe that is Robin, to try and hold this one down, but the flank also coming in. Cosmin, he's going to be able to find one over towards Connector. Actually, rather, he didn't. He got taken down. It was surreal to get it, but in the end, Epsilon do get that round with 3 players alive and get themselves up to 14-12.
Yeah, Epsilon edging ever closer to the semi-finals. Remember, the winner of this game gets to play against the winner of Ago versus Big, which will be coming up after this series. So make sure to stick around to see what that semi-final matchup will look like. Nonetheless, we still don't even have the first team that's made it through yet, so getting a little bit ahead of myself. Epsilon still need 2 more rounds. And you can already see Na'Vi, GG, Bet currently all leaning over towards A. Last time around, Smooya found success initially on the A hold. He is here again, but this time it's the AK, not the AWP. It looks as though they are going to slowly but surely group up for their push towards A long. They are lining up this push, and here we go, will come in Smooya, the first man on the hold, trying to find anything. Rotate coming in from Robin fairly quickly, and it does allow him the kill. Meantime, sacks in towards mid. He does fall at the hands of Zeus. You see the rotation though coming in here. Smooya doesn't get that kill. It's Edward to win the duel, and elsewhere Simple is going to also find a frag. 2v4 retake again looks impossible for Epsilon.
Yeah, and this is going to be the reset right now. Epsilon, they have to save these 2 weapons. If they don't, they're going to have nothing to work with really in the following round, as I believe it should be an eco coming up. Surreal, I believe, is going to be on a double eco, as is Robin, but players having a bit to work with at least. But Surreal, he needs to actually try and save this. He does get himself 1 kill at least onto Zeus. Gets himself that AK. Maybe an upgrade, depends which rifle you like more. It's all about opinions, I guess, but it does allow for at least the faster headshots to come in. But we can see right now, Navi, GG, Bet, not really looking to actually try and hunt this one down. They want to make sure that they keep these 3 rifles up themselves, including the op. And yeah, just make sure they can build up at least a small amount of economy, because this late into the game, if either team gets forced onto an eco, it's a really awkward situation. Now Epsilon, let's see if they decide to force up around this, or will they go for the eco and allow Navi to actually equalize the scoreline.
Yeah, Epsilon in a fairly rough spot, but ooh, it looks like they are going to commit to that 4 spy. I was kind of expecting them to just go for 1 eco. They probably could have got a buy and brought it just back to a 14-14 scoreline, but they decide they want to get the round win right now. And they're going to try to do so with the 2 AKs. That means that if Epsilon lose here, they have a tough decision into the next round, where they either have to concede map points or they would have to go for the 4 spy. Either way, Flamey is going to go for the opening, and that flash works so well. He's going to get that opening kill with ease. And now it looks as though the T's are going to overwhelm the site, as Simple actually connects that shot on towards Robin, I think, down to 33 HP. Epsilon, they've just lost the site, so they've decided to call for the save. Honestly, not a bad decision at this point to just try and save what they can. The only unfortunate thing is they lost one of those AKs, so saving 3 UMPs still doesn't exactly feel great for them.
Yeah, not really. Into the following round, we likely will actually see them investing into this one, I would presume. Well, I guess they could maybe just go for the eco and Cosme and then try and play for overtime, but that's if they aren't to win the following round. But yeah, if they're able to save these ones, they at least have something to back it up. It'll give them a chance, and I think the eco is maybe a little bit more likely, and now allow Navi then to get themselves up to 15 if needed, and then get the full buyout in the following round afterwards, because they will have at least some firepower to work with now, as long as they are able to save it, of course, which I think they should be able to. The terrorists right now not really looking to try and hunt. They don't want to give away any of their own weapons. They don't allow any upgrades to come in, as it is going to be the bomb finally exploding. And while we have a moment, I just want to remind everyone that there is a giveaway being done on Sunday after the grand finals of the Farmskins Championship number 2. A Flip Night Blue Steel field tested will be given away to all subscribers of the channel. You do have to be present here at the time, and then you're entered in with a chance to try and get yourself that nice little knife. But now 14 to 14, the scoreline equalised, and it looks like we will be going the full 30 rounds. The question is, will we go any further, or will we see one of these teams actually managing to close it out 16 to 14?
Yeah, well, considering Epsilon's buy into this round, I have to feel like Na'Vi GGBet are the favourites here. Having said that, this could still go either way. There's certainly still stuff to work with. The Simple, what is he doing? He misses the first shot, then tries the no-scope. And that's not something I'd expect to see from Simple in such a key round. He goes down first. So it is a man advantage for Epsilon. That was quite surprising. The nade does even more damage. Flamey down to 26 HP, so he elects to switch it up to the AWP. And now, well, they're just going to have to play from a 4v5 with a couple of players taking some damage.
Yeah, that's not really the greatest start for the T side by any means. So yeah, still only on the Deagle, of course. There is still slightly better weaponry and also a lot more utility for the T side to work with, but down by one man with also Zeus and Flamey quite heavily tagged up. It's going to be difficult. Those UMPs now up close, they're going to become extremely dangerous, extremely lethal, as it is now going to be the terrorists just grouping up over towards B currently. Flamey, as mentioned before, low HP. He did retrieve the op off the body of Simple. He will be looking to try and maybe find an opening, as I believe he may have even spotted out the player in the corner there. The kit may have given away his position, but Electronic, he finds that opening killing towards drop room. But once again, it's costly in terms of the HP. Back into a 4-on-4. But none of these players really for the Na'Vi side, the Na'Vi GGBet side, are looking very healthy. And now Surreal playing up close will be looking to try and shut down this platform push, and he's going to actually be able to do it. Cosmian peeks out though, gets the double headshot. Now it's all onto Electronic to deny map point for Epsilon, and he won't be able to do it. Jack spams through the smoke, and he will allow for 15 rounds to be put on the board.
Here it is, round number 30. Na'Vi GGBet's Katowice life on the line. They haven't even qualified yet, and they are struggling. They have to win this round just to keep themselves in with a chance. Remember, Epsilon, if they upset here, they get to go against Ago or Big in the semi-final. I think that's a game that they absolutely could win, so certainly chances. However, they have to make sure they close against Na'Vi GGBet now. At the start of the round, we're going to see both teams play slowly. This is something you see quite often in such a key round. Neither side wanting to make a mistake early on, and they both will not really trade any damage early into the rounds. I also do want to point out, Cosmi's been playing that sort of close left position at B very consistently, yet it doesn't seem like the terrorists have been able to stop him. He got 2 kills again in that previous round, and other than that, still seeing not much go down. Over a minute left, so a lot of time to play with, and we are finally seeing some action out towards A long.
Yeah, Smooyip looking to just back off. Jack was actually pushed forward with the smoke in a position to maybe try and find one kill and then fall off, but due to the flashes coming down, he will just decide to back off. Make sure that he's in a position with his teammate where if he does fall, the trade will at least come in. Right now, it is going to be the T side, just looking to try and advance their way up towards A, get control of long, get control of middle. And with 40 seconds remaining, I think this may actually force them towards the A bomb site unless they begin to hightail it back over in the other direction quite soon. So they may be actually forced to commit in towards A. 30 seconds remains. They have some utility available for Simple and Edward, so a bit of an execute is possible, but just being one smoke, 2 Molotovs and a flash. As right now, Smooya in a good position with the AWP. Posted up from the van, waiting to see if he can find any opening kills to go in favour of Epsilon, but it's Robin to start it off, takes down Flamey. And now only 4 remains for the Na'Vi side. It's 15 seconds to get onto the bomb site. The time is getting so low. Smooya takes down Simple. He may get the second. Edward, luckily enough, trades that out, as does Zeus. And now towards the bomb site, the bomb, it may go down, but Robin drops it, and that's going to be it. There's no time anymore. Epsilon will take this second map, 16 to 14. Surreal just remains alive, and it will be a 2-0 in favour of Epsilon. We will throw it back to the analyst desk to discuss what we just witnessed.